with a 30-second snack that eliminates food cravings and burns away 34 pounds of ugly fat in record time. Inside, the 5 hormonal blocks that make it impossible to lose weight. Plus, the 30-second fix that unclogged my hormones and had me dropping pound after pound in under a week. My husband John and I never used to fight. But ever since I realized that virtually all of my weight problems were due to my hormones, and lost 34 pounds in a few short months. He's constantly complaining that I shop too much. He's not wrong. But literally none of my clothes fit me anymore. So what am I supposed to do? Should I walk around wearing clothes that fit like a poncho? Or better yet, should I just walk around naked? My husband might say yes to the naked part. But seriously, when you fix your broken hormones, there are 5 total BTW. And drop the pounds as fast as I have. You pretty much need to update your entire wardrobe. And besides, it's not like I'm buying a bunch of designer clothes anyways. I mean, sure, a few times. But that's only because it's just so fun going into those fancy boutiques. The same ones that I used to avoid like the plague, because their clothes weren't made for people like me. Trying on outfit after outfit. And every single one seems to mold perfectly to my newfound, slim physique. It's a total confidence rush. So of course I'm going to do that sometimes. But that's besides the point. Because I try on way more stuff from those stores than I actually buy. And most of the new clothing I'm getting is coming from Goodwill and is very cheap. So seriously, what's my husband's deal? Hi, I'm Sam by the way. And I've got to be honest. It's hilarious to me that my husband and I are even having these arguments. Just a few short months ago. It never would have happened. Because at that point, I'd been overweight for over a decade. Anywhere between 30 pounds to 50 pounds too heavy on average. And I had a whole section of my closet filled with outfits from my early 20s. That I was pretty sure I was never going to be able to wear again. It seemed like Skinny Sam was just some dusty relic of my past. Not a person I could be in my early 40s, like I am today. And this probably would have been true if it wasn't for the help of one of the nation's top hormone experts. A man named Dr. Eric J. Wood. Dr. Wood showed me that the real reason I could never lose weight, and the real reason why fat seemed to be continuously migrating to my belly and my thighs, had nothing to do with my eating habits, or even how much time I spent in the gym, but with 5 hormonal blocks. Blocks that are affecting millions of women and men right now. And leading to something called weight loss resistance, where it can feel impossible to drop even a single pound. Discovering these 5 hormonal blocks changed my life. Especially once Dr. Wood showed me how to fix each of these blocks. And because I'm sure you're asking. Yes. Of course I'm going to share all 5 hormonal blocks with you inside this letter. Plus, I'm going to show you how to fix them too. Which is something that Dr. Wood normally charges people over $1,000 for. So let's keep this between us, winky face. Once I fixed these 5 hormonal blocks, I lost 34 pounds lost in just under 180 days. And what's even better is that the weight has stayed off too. Even though I didn't change my diet. Or have to cut out a whole bunch of my favorite foods. Now I know what you're thinking too. Red flag alert. She's saying I can lose weight without having to give up all my favorite snacks. This must be BS. If that's what just went through your mind, I totally get it. Because for decades, I was conditioned to think the same thing too. You can't lose weight without slaving away at the gym and eating rabbit food, right? That's what I was always told. But that's BS. And here's why. These 5 hormonal blocks I'm about to share with you. They keep your body in fat storage mode all the time. And they keep your metabolism feeling like it's stuck in a puddle of glue. When that stuff is going on behind the scenes, it doesn't matter what you're eating. You can eat a juicy bacon cheeseburger. Or be keto Karen who's allergic to carbs. And the weight still just isn't going to come off. I'll explain more in just a second. But first, let me go ahead and share exactly how I came to meet Dr. Wood in the first place. Then we'll jump right into the 5 hormonal blocks he showed me. And right after, I'll give you the simple, at-home fix he created, which is something you can start using today. And that can finally end your weight loss resistance for good. So about me. I used to feel trapped in a body I didn't love. Okay, so as I mentioned, my name is Sam. And while today I'm finding any excuse possible to slip on a bikini and run to the beach, for most of my adult life, I felt trapped inside a body I didn't love. It started in my late 20s. At first, I just noticed that I wasn't losing weight as easily as before. And even though I was pretty active and tried to eat healthy, each year a little more unwelcomed fat would show up on my body. Mostly around my butt, face, arms, and neck. And because this fat didn't ever want to leave, I started joking that my fat was like some awful house guest who overstays their welcome. I'd later learn that what I was dealing with is something called weight loss resistance, which is the term for what happens when your body refuses to burn fat. But at the time I just felt frustrated and thought maybe this weight gain was my fault, or that there was something wrong with me. So I worked out even harder and ate even cleaner. Yet by the time I hit my mid-30s, things had gone from bad to worst. Because not only was I starting to gain more fat around my tummy and my thighs, suddenly there was a lot of other weird stuff happening in my body too. I started experiencing these waves of anxiety that would hit me out of nowhere. My energy felt zapped all of the time. Plus my sleep was getting worse and worse. I'd wake up in the middle of the night covered in sweat. Or I'd get into bed exhausted. Then suddenly get these booming adrenaline rushes. The cherry on top was the brain fog though. It felt like my brain was shutting off on me. I had the hardest time focusing at my job. And even little things, like trying to help my children with their homework, became very hard because I just couldn't focus. I started feeling scared. Because what had started as a little weight gain was now me fluctuating between 30 pounds and 50 pounds overweight all the time. And not only did I no longer feel sexy or have any confidence in myself, but I was worried about the long-term effects of the weight on my health too. I thought about my mom. How she'd gotten bigger and rounder as she got older, until she became pretty seriously overweight and ended up having a fatal heart attack in her 60s, which was far too young. When my mom died, I'd promised myself that I wouldn't ever follow in her footsteps. Yet here I was, the weight piling on, my blood sugar becoming more erratic, my energy levels at an all-time low, and I just didn't know what to do.